as a speaker. And we've got Christopher. There's an invite for Christopher. And we're looking for Dally Boy, Crypto BitBoy News, I think, as well.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Christopher and BJ. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, yeah. Just looking down the list. Who do we need? Crypto BitBoy News, Dally Boy, I think, is joining. I've unmuted Christopher and BJ.
Hey, everybody. This is Christopher. Thanks for having us. We appreciate you guys.
Hi, Christopher. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I can see.
Same. Thank you so much.
BitBoy there as well. I'll just set you up as a speaker, BitBoy. So we just need Dally Boy, I think. Now I don't know if he's in the room. Maybe not.
How you doing?
Okay, cool.
Okay, is that everyone we've got from the SoMee team?
Yeah, that's our team that's going to be here today. So yeah, we can get started.
We're still waiting on Dallas. He's not in here yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in here. Let me just ping him.
We can get started, and then I'll set Dally Boy up as a speaker as well as we go along. Oh, I've got Dally Boy there. There we go. All right. Welcome to the Welcome Talk Twitter Spaces. Today we have joining us SoMee. We've got 4 people from the core team and the founder as well, Christopher. SoMee is a full-featured social media platform that offers people more control over their social experience, data, and information via a simple-to-use Web3 interface. So we'll be talking about the social media platform shortly and the backstory of SoMee because it launched in 2020. So that's a long time in crypto. We'll go over that shortly. But first, can you give us your background and experience of the core team? That'd be great, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher, the founder and creator of SoMee. I've been in tech for 20 plus years. When I launched SoMee, I really just had an idea about how to change social media, make it fair for everybody who was joining social media at the time so quickly and building the value of all these major tech companies. And back then, when we launched it, I won the IBM Global Entrepreneurs Award for the application, and we got a bit of funding from IBM early on, and then later on from AWS. So glad to be here. I can let others speak to their experience as well, but thanks for having us. Bijo, go ahead.
Hey, everybody. So my name is Beja Dome. And from my side, it was actually a very, so far, amazing experience in terms of I came from a completely different industry. I was in marketing very, very early on, graphic designer and editor. And then I started acting. And of course, social media was always a huge part of me because I love social media. I love the opportunity what social media created. And 4 years ago, I stepped into SoMee because I heard about this platform from someone who was very excited about it and thought, wow, that is such a fair platform and idea, and what Chris created with empowering people and what it does and how it could change the world. And I was basically, I think, one of the first users on the first beta platform, and I was so impressed what it does and how everything works and how it empowers people that I started basically talking to Chris, and through that relationship start to work for SoMee like 4 years ago.
All right, I'll go next. My real name is Justin McLaughlin. My alias online has been Aaron Kessel for the past couple years. I've worked in alternative media, met a lot of people that have been now censored. Saw what was basically going on with social media back in 2016 and saw everybody being censored and basically deplatformed, and decided to actually do something about it. And I joined up with Chris, and we've been creating SoMee since 2017. I've been helping this project. I work in influencer marketing. I work with doing research for a lot of the influencers in the crypto space. A lot of the deals that come in their inbox, I'm the one that's vetting them. I work with VCs. I work with a whole bunch of people in the industry. A lot of people know me. So that's my background. I currently work with Viral Nation, helping bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 for major companies. I mean, Viral Nation has worked with some of the biggest companies in the world. You could go look them up. So yeah, so that's my job. I'm assisting with influencer marketing with SoMee, and also onboarding partnerships in the industry. I've partnered SoMee with a number of companies now, and we have so many more that haven't been announced and have been in the works for some of them years on the partnership then. Because when you want to establish a partnership, you want it to be mutual, you want it to be beneficial for both parties, and sometimes those discussions take longer than than we would like. And the integrations are really what we're waiting on to disclose some of the partners that we have. So.
Okay, great. I don't know if Dally Boy want to say anything, or we can move on to maybe an introduction of the SoMee social media platform. What makes it different to other social media platforms? What you're doing differently over at SoMee?
Yeah, absolutely. This is Christopher. I don't know if Dally Boy's.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah, hey, Dallas, go ahead, intro you, because Dallas is the newest member of our team as head of community and affiliate marketing. So go for it.
Sure, can you hear me?
We got really bad feedback from you, Dallas.
Hey, Dallas. I'll intro you because it sounds like you might be getting some of the. Dallas is in Hawaii right now, and so he's probably getting some of those Hawaiian winds coming through on his speaker.
Yeah, but no, I'm here. I'm good now. Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Everything good? You can hear me good? Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Like Chris said, I'm the newest, kind of the newest member of the team. I would say like. When I first got introduced to Chris, we met face to face, and I shared the same vision as him. I shared the same like goals and dreams, and to be honest, I think everything in life happens for a reason. So he needed someone to help run the community, and when I met him, I was kind of transferring over from helping a community from another very, very similar project, and so I thought, what better way, to partner with somebody than to get into a project that was similar to the one that I was doing. So yeah, my background has always been in sales and marketing, and I've owned an event promotion company. So I think like this is a perfect fit for me. But I truly believe in what SoMee's doing, and I'm super excited to be a part of the team. And like he said, I am the community manager here, so with that being said, I'm going to be, a lot of the point of contact for a lot of the people out there in the community. So if you guys are listening, I love you guys. I'm excited to all have you guys here on this AMA. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the belief and the trust in us. We promise we're going to get things rocking and rolling. Just, stick with us, guys. This is exciting. And, the future is very, very promising here. So nice to meet everybody. And I'll hand it back to you, Chris.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction, guys. So I was just saying before, we can maybe get an introduction to the social media platform, the SoMee platform, and what makes you stand out different to other social media platforms, and what you're trying to do different in the space.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Glenn. And really excited about the team that we have. And obviously with our platform tech, we've been building, first of all, for years. This wasn't just an overnight thing. We've been through so many iterations of SoMee, and the word SoMee actually is a kind of combination, but it really stands for social media empowered, and that's where the extra E. So it's social and media. If you can just picture those two words kind of merging together with the SOMEE, and the extra E is for empowered, and we really want to empower people on social media. So you can find us at SoMee.social. It's a .social domain, and it's at its core, it's a hybrid Web3 monetization and social DeFi platform that's very unique. People, we want to make it really simple for people just to post, like, and earn. So that's the low hanging fruit where everybody wants to monetize, but it's the thing that's different is it's not a paywall. It's not you're not taking money out of your pocket to tip somebody else. The way that we've designed this is where the token gets allocated through an algorithm called proof of brain, and I can go into that a little bit more, but essentially that was created by Steam, and we had forked the Steam blockchain a couple years ago, and then last year we were actually scaling quite nicely. We had about 2 million in revenue, and then the blockchain just like imploded on us. We just had too much traffic, and we're like, oh, okay. So people, the way that we had it set up at that time, we had to really pivot, and then we ended up recoding a new framework. We have AAA plus code now. It's been audited by a third party. And we basically don't control the wallets. That's another differentiator. And I know there's some other platforms that do, but we don't hold the private keys at all. So once you launch an account on SoMee, now we've pivoted actually to Hive. And so the Hive blockchain is where as soon as you join SoMee, it's just like a normal kind of like Web2 experience. So what we've tried to focus on is allowing people to join really in just a non-friction environment. And so, and then they click monetize this post. They go to post a piece of content, and then that's, if they don't already have their blockchain account, it's going to prompt them to actually generate their Hive username and to get their private keys. And we do it that way, obviously, because we don't want to touch the private keys. We don't want to save the private keys. But from there, once you have that saved in your blockchain settings on SoMee, we basically allow you to monetize at the post level. And the way that it works is you start to see as other members are liking your posts and seeing your content and liking it, it starts to accumulate a value that's based on the token right at the post level. And you'll see like a dollar sign, it could be like $5 or $10 that you see per post. But the person who liked the post, it's not like they're tipping you, and it's not like a paywall. It's just instantaneous monetization. And I think that's the key here, is that it's very simple to monetize on SoMee. And the way that algorithm works is that after a week, say it accumulates like $20, $10 would go to you, Glenn, if you posted the content, and then the other 10 goes to everybody who liked the post according to their voting power. And that's where this kind of gamification comes in, and it incentivizes people to actually power up the token into what we call voting power, and literally allows them to start earning. So you don't need a bunch of friends or followers. Technically, we say that everyone should earn around 25 to 50 cents per friend or follower per year, up to $3 for super users who aren't necessarily influencers or big influencers. These are people who are actually powered up. So if you actually power up more on the platform, it enables you to go to your favorite influencer's page and like their posts, and now you're bootstrapping your earnings off of the momentum that they have. So it kind of makes it fair from that standpoint. I made $500 last week, and I didn't post any content. I only liked other people's content because I'm powered up. So that's kind of a game changer, I think. And where we focused and differentiated ourselves is really just more of a microblog. So kind of like an Insta, Facebook kind of, and we've added live streaming, and all the other full features. So we can scale. Technically, we're sitting on a Web 2 side. We're now, because we ran into the problems we did last year with the blockchain, the change that we made was to make it a hybrid so that we could give everyone the experience, the user experience that they would expect, like from an Insta or Facebook. We're, not exactly perfect yet. We're getting there. People are pretty happy with our platform right now. It's full featured, but it allows them to, simply join, connect, and start collecting at the post level. And we can scale technically now like a Facebook or Instagram. And then we implemented the blockchain as a side chain. So I think that's where it was a game changer for us, because we can actually now scale and utilize the blockchain to put people in control of their private keys, in control of their data. We have other features that we haven't released quite yet that we're planning. We've built out what we call the ad share marketplace, which allows the advertisers to advertise or target like they normally would. But as a platform of choice, we don't want to be packaging up the data and reselling it behind our customers' backs. So what we built was the ad share marketplace that allows each person to generate a private key for specific data points that they could then share or choose to share, or they could choose not to. And that's the thing, is that we still wanted to have that available where we connected the brands and the everyday person and their targeted audience on social media, but we want to give them the choice whether or not those data points would be shared, and they can help boost the campaign. So that's called the ad share marketplace. And that'll layer on another revenue stream for our customer base as a second quarter in 2023. So that's another differentiator. We basically sell these packages called Power Boost packages that people can just buy with a credit card. It doesn't actually sell the token. What it does is it locks the token in the company wallet, and then it delegates the voting power that somebody would utilize on the platform to increase their earnings for their individual efforts. So from a compliance standpoint, it keeps us very, very streamlined and clean. And then allows the users to actually earn the token, which we've never had really control over as a layer 2. So that's another great thing. And then we actually take, funds that we receive from several different revenue streams and put it back into the building liquidity position that's locked for the token. And so that's where, it makes it fair for everybody. And we're still early on in that process. So we just have like our bonded token right now that we're about ready to release on Uniswap, and then have the locked liquidity, and then allow that kind of, that flywheel to get going. So we're excited for that. I think that's another differentiator. But yeah, that's, basically it's, our slogan is, it pays to be social. You just connect and collect, post, like, and earn. And we were blockchain agnostic after last year, so we can literally plug in any blockchain. And we just now about to release a Polygon implementation where the users of the platform can just choose to mint an NFT, and that'll go on Polygon. And so if they don't want to generate private keys on Hive, or they don't want to monetize in that way, they can just post an NFT on Polygon. And we have a new feature coming that actually is we're really excited about. And then I'll shut up and maybe let some people ask some questions if you'd like. But the new feature that we're about ready to release, it allows somebody at registration, once they register, it generates all of 20 or 30 different blockchain wallets for them automatically in our wallet section. And those are non-custodial. And the way that it works is it splits the private key inside of the cloud, and then it uses another third-party service. That's all it does. to call the private key and send a 2FA message to the user. So it kind of gives them more of a Web 2 experience, and it reduces the friction so that, you know, people who, as we scale the platform, who aren't necessarily used to, you know, dealing with blockchain, they can still, you know, control their private key with a 2FA authentication, or even a text message, you know, getting a text to their 2FA device. You know, we're high on security, so we might require a couple of hoops there, but that's going to be an exciting feature. So I think those are all kind of differentiating points that we're hitting there to try to really just streamline, make it as simple as possible for people just to use the platform and to earn automatically in a way that reduces the friction.
And I also wanted to add on one big differentiator I think is very, very important to mention is how basically this system introduces the world of blockchain or even crypto to the everyday user. Because a lot of people, of course, are still afraid a little bit of the word, even the word blockchain or crypto. But now that this is a basically implemented part of SoMee, but not the main feature, because it's still a social media platform everyone can use. But if now everyone, and we give the opportunity to every single one, not just influencers. So if everyone wants to earn, now they basically want to learn about that themselves, which is pretty simple on our platform. And that introduces basically the entire blockchain to the entire world, which is, I think, also a big game changer to all of them who are still a little scared or afraid of that word.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's important that maybe, you know, we have blockchain and we put them in control of their private keys, but if that all happens automatically and they don't have to interact with it or know about it right away, and it reduces the friction, that's the point that we're hitting on right there. So we're really focused on that user experience so that people can just join, and if they want to, you know, interact with blockchain more, or look into the wallet, or, you know, look at the different addresses, they can. But if they don't, and it's something that they just want to use on their kind of 2FA, kind of the stuff that they're used to, that's where we're trying to connect those dots. And we're pretty close to that right now. There's, you know, still a little bit of friction the way that we have it when they generate a, you know, like a Hive username, for example. But we've taken all the steps just to try to walk them through it. And there's a little tutorial that we put at the top of the news feed that, you know, you need to know how to monetize. Click here. They can watch like I think it's like a 30-second video that tells them how to do it. And for obvious reasons, you know, Hive, you know, made it that way so that, you know, anytime there's monetization, there's a high likelihood that there's going to be abuse. We had that last year where we had fraudsters that were doing like 10 plus accounts and they were trying to cash out as quick as they could. And we're like, okay, how do we solve this? And we did a verification system on SoMee that allowed everyone to get verified. So we would allow them to, like, you know, can just earn automatically and accumulate the earnings in their account. But once they wanted to cash out, they would have to verify their service. We don't have that anymore because we're completely on Hive. We don't have the requirement to do it, but that definitely helped us last year. We have verification now that people can put, you know, can submit for, and then we have you know, the deeper levels of verification that we're going to be rolling out just for people who want to, like, work with brands. And if brands require that, then, you know, obviously, you know, if you're a big influencer and you want to verify your account and the brand knows, okay, this is the real, you know, BitBoy, then obviously they're going to be excited to work with that person. So there's some things that we're going to be doing there that will further kind of help that ecosystem. But to Bijo's point, that's really, you know, the game changers, that it's fair for everybody. Everybody can automatically earn, and you don't have to be a big influencer. It's just, you know, you connect the blockchain, you control your private keys. We don't have access to those. We don't control that at all. And you start to earn instantly. And it's different, right? It's not a tipping system. There's a certain amount of rewards that are given out every day via the smart contract, and that's in perpetuity. And so as the platform scales to millions of users, obviously people who are powered up are going to be able to grab those rewards faster. And just like the company can delegate voting power, the users also can have the ability to delegate. So, you know, the game will continue the way that it's designed. I think that's another big differentiator. So it's going to be kind of fun. But I think the way that we envision it is that people can will also be able to just layer on different revenue streams, because now we have Polygon that is about ready to be released through the NFTs and minting on the timeline, and we have other things in the works that will allow, you know, like the ad share and like these other kind of initiatives that we have that will allow other monetization levels. And that's where the social DeFi really comes into play. So we just want to provide as much value as possible as people continue to use and grow with the platform.
Okay, I see, Christopher. Yeah, it seems great. It seems like the early days of TikTok, where everyone could sort of make a bit of revenue, but now you need millions. You need to be a big influencer, you know, having millions of people looking at your content. But you're offering it where you don't need millions of people to look at content. You know, everyone can make a few dollars from the start. So it's great for maybe micro influencers starting out. They can definitely take advantage of the platform, build up a following, because like I say, I mean, the big influencers, they're the ones that take the biggest slice of the pie.
Yeah, it's a kind of a game changer, just kind of like TikTok turned the algorithm upside down for Facebook, right? You know, Facebook kind of got greedy and they limited people's exposure because they wanted them to boost posts and they wanted them to pay more money. And TikTok came along and said, "Hey, we're just going to put you on a trending, and we're going to, if you're already fall into this category where we can give you more exposure, we're just going to boost it and give it." And people like that. They kind of turned the algorithm on its head and beat Facebook in that aspect. But what we've done is kind of turned that algorithm on its head in a way, because now if you get in early in this platform, you start accumulating and powering up, it's going to benefit you down the road, because as you know, influencers start joining, you can now bootstrap easily off of their audience. Because again, if you're powered up and I go to BitBoy's post and he's got, you know, 1 million people liking it and, you know, $10,000 at a post level, which I don't think will be unheard of in the future, you know, then, you know, as somebody who's powered up, at the end of the week, BitBoy would get $5,000. The other $5,000 gets distributed to everybody who liked the post according to their voting power. And so that's where it's all done with the algorithm and with the token. And then people can choose to continue to power up, where they can cash out a little bit, swap it on the Uniswap for ETH. And that's where, you know, we like the system, because it takes a lot of pressure off of the company when there's DeFi involved. Because, you know, for us, our job is to continually build a locked liquidity pool in our position. But as long as people can swap from the SME token, which is the Hive-based, you know, tribal DEX token, and they can swap that on Uniswap for ETH, you know, there's an ocean of liquidity that's already there. It's like, you know, 5, 10, $20 billion a day. So even if you're BitBoy trying to cash out, you know, 5, 10, 20,000, you know, of earnings, it's not really gonna impact it at all. And our job is just to kind of continually build that liquidity so that the slippage is reduced down to the very minimal.
I see, Christopher. And how does it work for a user? How do they sign up to the platform? What sort of details do they need to reveal? Is it just an email and using the smart chain to connect to the SoMee platform?
Yeah, because, you know, we try to go too decentralized in the beginning, and then we kind of reconfigure things. Now we're this hybrid, so it's really just like a Web2 experience where you just provide the email, you sign up, it sends you an email to verify your email address. You click the link, and then you're in, and you can provide, you know, some basic information if you want. You can provide social links if you want those to show up on your profile page. Literally whatever you choose to do. We don't do data mining. Like I said, we're going to allow you to do the data mining for yourself, and if you want to share those data points in the future. So we've built those tools, and we'll release that shortly. But the sign up process is super easy. And then what happens is when you go to do your first post and you click into kind of like, share what's on your mind, or, kind of what you typically see on a social media platform, share a post, you'll choose the type of content. And then at the bottom of that post, you'll see monetize this content. And if you haven't monetized yet, you'll click that box, and it'll actually prompt you from there. It'll take you to a blockchain to set up your blockchain account, and that's where we have these tutorials that we've posted on our social channels and on SoMee, to help people walk through that process. But it's just as simple as getting a free blockchain username on Hive, and then once you have that username, it'll redirect you back to SoMee. You go into the settings and you save that blockchain username in your blockchain settings on SoMee, and now you can start monetizing. And in the very start, you're limited, so you're not going to be able to monetize too many posts, because you're not going to have the resources to always be posting on the blockchain. And that's obviously a protection mechanism so that people don't start spamming and just trying to, again, you always have to put those mechanisms in place. So that's why Hive did that. So once you have your blockchain username, it's best to get a power boost package, or to power up some Hive and some of our SME. That way it gives you the ability to pretty much post, every 5 minutes. They limit it to posting for monetization. So we always recommend, posting good content. For people who can't, who don't have the ability to get a power boost package, we have case studies of people in other countries that have been using SoMee for years. One girl that I saw post, like, I think 4 years ago, she said her sister told her about SoMee, and she was in a severely depressed economic situation where she was only making like $30 a month. So obviously this gal is not going to be able to do anything financially, and she's trying to raise her daughter on that amount. A severely depressed economy of Venezuela. And so she started making $600 her first month, and now today I believe she bought a house. She moved to Spain. She's doing very well, and she's still part of our community today, and always says, please share my story about SoMee because it's changed her life. And those are the types of things we want to do. We want to empower people and bring that change. So as people join, there's going to be, different situations you might be in. Don't feel pressured. It's just, there's already people who are powered up, and if they like your post and they have a lot of voting power, it will actually, attach more earnings from the daily reward pool onto your post. And that's the way that it works. And that's what happened with Roxy. She started, posting great content, and she, started interacting with people on the network, and they liked her post. And then she bootstrapped her way ahead. And then she was like, okay, now that I'm back on my feet, I'm going to start, powering up half of my rewards instead of just cashing out as quick as I can, because she just needed to get financially stable before she could actually start doing that. But eventually she did, and she posted about it. And so it's a great story about, empowerment and how social media can be used in a way that's super positive. And that's really what we're about, is we want to, we want people to win together. And that, I think that Hive ecosystem of the blockchain has created that opportunity for us. And the way that we're leveraging it is a way that's scalable, and it reduces friction. And so, yeah, we just invite people. SoMee.social, SOMEE.social. Check it out. We have apps. The apps are live in the app store, so iOS or Android. It's a progressive web app, so basically it works exactly the same on the app as it does on the mobile browser. So It's and the app stores like that. They like that you code in I guess this progressive manner these days, so it makes it easier for releasing the updates. So we're really happy that we could actually have accomplished that and have everything live and pretty much there and ready. Yeah, it's very easy user experience just to join, and then there's reduced friction that's coming. So like in just a couple weeks, we are working to actually have it to where sign up, it just generates all of your wallets, it generates your username, you are able to post not only on Hive but on Polygon, and we're really excited about that because then there won't be that extra step where you have to click monetize this and then go generate your private key. It'll auto generate your username right at sign up, and it'll auto generate your private keys that are actually split into the cloud, and we never have control over that. And then there's a third party provider that actually calls that whenever somebody wants to. They'll connect like a different 2FA device, and that's where they can actually, if they ever need to use their private key, it's really super simple. So we're excited about that, and probably about 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how that development goes on it.
Okay, Christopher, that was a great story there. In developing countries, it's helping people, and a lot of people don't know that most of the large social media platforms started in Africa. They started in the developing countries. They become hugely popular there, and it's not that they're hugely popular first in the Western world. That comes later. So, are you looking to push your marketing that way out to developing countries and Africa and places like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're already, really hitting a lot of different, countries in terms of like our traffic flow. The U.S. is about 50%, and then we're distributed, in Europe and different, countries around the world where the users are finding out about us and checking it out. So we already are a global platform, and we're just about ready to grow from here. We have some pretty big partnerships in place that we've already announced, so I can talk about them. But one of them is with Skrill. They have 70 million wallet holders, and we're happy to have that Skrill integrated into the platform. And also when they share about SoMee, we expect to grow pretty rapidly. And then we just finished a integration with a partner called Impact.com, and they have some of the largest brands in the world that will start sharing about SoMee. So we're thankful for that, so that we can get kind of mainstream, people in here. We have an affiliate kind of system that is another revenue stream for those that are interested. And it's the same as like a Cash App or anything like that, where you get your link, you share it out, and if somebody ever makes a purchase, it automatically credits you with a small percentage of the sale, and that's just an extra revenue stream that you can get paid out through, I think, PayPal or Stripe is the way that we pay that, or even Skrill. So there's a few different ways that you can get paid. So it's nice for our growth model to focus on that, so that everybody can grow the network together. But yeah, there's a lot in the works, and a lot behind the scenes that we haven't announced yet. As Aaron said, I don't know if AC, if you have anything that you wanted to say about that, but as our business development officer, but we're super excited, and the fact that BitBoy, this is like one of the few platforms that BitBoy is still putting his approval on, because again, he came on so early with Aaron and or Justin, I call him Aaron, but with Justin, that having that relationship, and we never paid him as an advisor. He's always just been a supporter because he liked what we were doing. So we're excited to have him, maybe start talking about us a little bit more. But we're really kind of at that level to where we did a lot of work, reconfigured things, and now we have a really nice platform that everyone's starting to enjoy, and we're getting a lot of traffic from around the world already.
Oh, that's awesome. You've got BitBoy, who's actually using the platform as well. And the first quarter of 2023, you've got social DeFi, so you're going to have projects. They're going to be able to add their token, and that's going to be rolled out in the first quarter 2023. So I was wondering what advantages and value will this offer projects in the future?
Can I speak on that first?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're creating a social DeFi platform where creators can come in, create a token, and be able to reward their fan base with a creator coin. So we're going to do the social route, the social token route, and we actually are integrating with several partners to do basket rewards. Basically, it's we back in, was it 2018, Chris, when the Steam devs tried to fix SoMee?
Yeah, it's been a couple years, but you know, when our Steam chain went down, the core developers of Steam tried to help us fix it, and they couldn't. We had really done a number on the blockchain, and that's when we pivoted to Hive. And at the time, Justin Sun from Tron came in and bought Steam anyway. There was a split in the community, and we ended up going with Hive. But yeah, that was right around.
Everybody was pissed at Justin Sun for basically coming in and monopolizing Steam and taking away the voting rights from the witnesses on the chain, and you know the whole thing imploded. And then they forked over to Hive, but before that happened, the Steam devs actually gave us the algorithm known as the proof of brain for the rewards logic for Steam or Hive, because Hive is a fork of Steam. So we actually have the ability to put that reward logic into smart contracts on any blockchain that we choose and create this environment where users can come in and power up any tokens that we support, and then they can earn those tokens directly from a rewards pool. So we're going to do that with creator coins as well as with partner projects. I believe Faith was announced already.
Faith Tribe, FTRB. It's a fashion brand, but they're pretty much going to be the exclusive kind of fashion token that we enable first in our ecosystem, and we're really excited about Faith Tribe. They're democratizing, for designers in the fashion industry, bringing democratization of the design. So it's really exciting, actually, what they're doing in fashion, and they've been around for a while, right? So we have a couple of other projects as well that are lined up, and essentially what we're doing is some custom coding to where when they open a page on our platform, they can literally mint their specific token, and it uses the same algorithm that will be able to allow people to earn as a basket of rewards. Like right now on SoMee, when people post, they're earning our SME, they're earning Hive, and they're earning a basket of rewards, basically. So in order to add that basket of rewards in, we would allow if it was like Faith Tribe, for example, the users of our platform will go to their page, they'll join the page on SoMee for Faith Tribe, and then they'll click activate, and then that's essentially it. And it kind of takes on a life of its own. So, and then we just leverage the same algorithm. And for compliance purposes, obviously, we're not selling tokens, we're not doing anything like that. It's basically the users who activate it now will be able to get the power of the Faith Tribe, and then be able to start to earn that in an increased level. So it's kind of the same methodology that we'll use just to keep it, really clean on the compliance side, and to be, obviously leverage that algorithm so that, again, it's fair for everybody. You don't have to be a big, influencer to earn, but it'll give you another reward system that actually you start to see earning on your post level. So again, it's like a social DeFi to where it just maximizes the amount of earnings that you get inside of your different wallets on SoMee.
Okay, great. And let's go into the tokens, because you've got a free token ecosystem. So you've got the SME token, that's for the platform token. Then you've got the DAO token, is the SoMee token. And you've also got the SAT token, that's going to be a future ad share marketplace. So what's planned around the SAT token? How do they all sort of link together? And is there any taxes involved in buying and selling if investors want to get involved with the tokens?
Yeah, so when we offer the SME, we actually just delegate the power, and then users earn that individually. So that's the rewards token on the Hive implementation. So that's kind of our base rewards token for the content monetization when you're liking, posting content on SoMee. And you can basically just earn that token. You can power up, you can get a power up package. And, some people, I think, if they're doing it like for a business page, they can write off the expenses and things like that. So they talk to their accounting people about that. But I think it's available. In terms of taxes, I would always just advise people to talk to their own tax person. But, in terms of the actual tokens, like for SoMee itself, that's an ERC based token. That one is our governance token. So we use Snapshot. It's vote.somee.social. So there's, we're just kind of getting this DAO going. And so we've had different votes that have taken place already. And it's basically the initiative to put more control in the customers or clients, or I hate to call people users because that's like, a term that we're trying to get away from as well. But, people who are our clients, our customers, and on SoMee, and engaged in the community, more and more of the decisions will go towards the community with the DAO. And the way that works is when you go to a vote, it just looks at your wallet. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no gas fees. That's why we set it up on Snapshot. And basically, it just looks at the balance, and it gives you a certain weight for your vote. And so that's kind of the way that we had set up the DAO initially. That might change in the future, but I think we're probably going to just stay there and leverage that system, because it doesn't cost gas fees, and allows people to have a voice in the community as they get the SoMee token. So that's the sole functionality of that. And then we have a separate ecosystem token for the advertising, which is the SoMee advertising token, or SAT. And so we had launched that when we thought that we were about ready to scale. So last year, again, in the beginning of last year, we were doing quite well and scaling nicely. And so we were getting ready to actually release this ad share marketplace that we had built. And that's when we ran into the problems where the Steam blockchain imploded. And so then we had to hold off on selling that. So that's why you kind of see that sitting there, not really with a lot of activity, because we haven't been able to focus on it since then. We had to rebuild all of our infrastructure and kind of realign to a hybrid Web 2, Web 3 that would be scalable. But now that we have that, and we're planning on releasing that again the second quarter next year or thereabouts, I think we only have to do a recoding of a front end, which shouldn't be too much work, and then we'll be able to release that into the ecosystem. We have basically like an ads kind of module in our current system that we haven't released, and that's where they're going to be customized with the ad share. And where the way that works is SAT is used in that ecosystem and will drive kind of the advertising model, and also be used to layer on another rewards mechanism for that basket of rewards on the ad side. And when the advertisers target and they select an option called G Boost or Global Boost, that's when it opens it up for their campaign to be targeted back by their audience. and for participants on the platform to earn from the campaign, to share certain data points that they choose to share, and to help boost the success of the campaign. So there's these different kind of things that will be happening within AdShare that's all driven with the SAT token. So that's why we have the separate tokens. We initially set out just to have one or two, and then it ended up being three because we wanted to, we obviously wanted to have a rewards token that was our base rewards when we pivoted to Hive, and that was required to have the SME. So that's why we have three. But yeah, that's where they're all being utilized within the ecosystem. Whether you want to just earn with SME or earn the basket of rewards, you can earn from your content. You can mint on Polygon in the very near future, and then you'll be able to also participate in the AdShare marketplace if you'd like to with the SAT.
I see, Christopher. And what's the marketing plans say for the next quarter? How are you going to get the SoMee social media platform? How are you going to promote it going forward in the token ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, AMAs like this help obviously get the word out. We have, some folks who are influencers that want to share about it. So we've had about 1,500 people sign up in our affiliate system. That's to.somee.social. If anyone here is interested in signing up, but it's basically our own system that we offer, again, the kind of that Cash App model, to where you can share out the link, and there's content in there that you can share, that you can kind of share it out on TikTok. There's different video clips. So we plan on doing that with our affiliates and partners. We also brought on a marketing company called Hawk Media, HAWKE. They are I think they're the fastest growing marketing company in the US right now. They're a really great marketing company, and they're working with impact.com because there's like a whole nother level of corporate affiliates and publishers that are going to be sharing about SoMee, and that are now picking up our deal because they like what we're about, and they're going to start sharing like our ad creatives and things like that. So that's the second pillar. And then we also will inevitably leverage some of our existing partnerships, like with Skrill, when they share about us in a couple of weeks. To have an email go out to 70 million people. I don't know if that happens all at once, or what their plans are, but we really want to just leverage that partnership as well, so that people can hear more about us and get the word out. So those are really kind of our three pillars where we want to focus on right now.
Okay, great. I think we've got some questions, so let's go to the questions for Spaces. Ramat, you had a question for the SoMee team. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I want to understand that what is the SoMe's definition of free speech, and don't you think that increasing the censorship resistance can impel regulatory bodies to apply sanctions on SoMe? And also Google and Apple may even remove the app from their store if it's not complying with their terms and the conditions. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so we are a free speech platform, 110%. We don't want to be the arbiters of truth, but also we are under compliance as a US based company. But with that said, that's why we ran into the problem that we had last year, is because we tried to go too decentralized too fast. And for a social media that's blockchain based, it's not quite ready with the technology to be a full scale, because you really want the user experience for mass adoption, but you also got to be thoughtful about decentralizing so that you're putting more control in everyone's hands. So our strategy is basically we have a 5-year plan to fully decentralize our data mesh to replace the data mesh that we have in with the decentralized infrastructure. And we might be able to accelerate that potentially as the technology advances. We're looking at a lot of things that are really cutting edge right now. Also, in terms of compliance, like the less control that we have and the less data that we have and the more that we give control over the individual person on our network, the more we can just say to a regulator or somebody who asks us is that we can just point them. And that's why, like last year when we did, the KYC AML stuff, for example, for the users that we're verifying, we didn't hold any of those records, and it was all encrypted with a third party. So again, if a regulator ever came to us and said, hey, we want to know about this, we'd point them to the direction of that third party. And I think more and more that's how we want to approach that, so that we're like a neutral party that's just leveraging the technology. But our main goal is that we leverage that Web3 technology so that you're in control of your private keys. You're an individual node. You know which other nodes you want to connect to and speak to. And we shouldn't be able to interfere in that. So as much as possible, that's kind of that's where we're headed. Trying to be thoughtful as we roll out the tech, that we're not 110% there. Like right now we have, we obviously we have to have some capability, like, people who've been posting porn or inappropriate things on the network. We have to go in and delete it off our front end or kind of block that content. We have that capability, but in the future, as things are more and more decentralized, as long as it doesn't, violate our community guidelines, we want to, be sensitive to freedom of speech and giving people the right to have their discussions with the communities and the other nodes or members that they want to, without interference. So we're trying to just build that in as we go, so that it's something that's a big problem that you can't just flip a switch to fix. But we definitely have a roadmap for it that we think people are going to like, and that's very, very important for us, because you see what's happening now with Twitter and the Twitter files, and Elon's coming in and releasing this stuff, but it never should have happened in the first place, right? I mean, this type of bias, it always should have been thoughtfully done in a way that allowed the technology to empower people and not to manipulate. And we really need to be sensitive as operators. I call us operators of these platforms. We need to be very sensitive to that. And so that's like one of our primary directives at SoMee.
Understood. Thank you so much for the explanation. Over to you, Glenn.
Thanks for the question, Rana. And next up, we have Captain Levi. You had a question for the SoMee team. Go ahead.
Yes. Thanks, Glenn. Okay. I wanted to ask him. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So during the point of the AMA, you said that you have verification, and people can actually apply for this verification. Can you tell us how this verification process is done? What is being considered, and what should the person applying for the verification keep in mind, and before making this user verified? And you also said there are some layers to which the verification will be attained. Is the verification a tiered verification process?
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for the question, Captain. So last year, when we had fraudsters that were, just cashing out as quick as they could, we decided to put in a more enhanced verification. And actually, what would happen is the users would click on the check mark, which was gray, on their profile page, and it would open up application. We actually put a pretty high price tag on it of $99 last year. And the reason why we did that is because we didn't care. We just wanted to stop fraud. And so we figured if we put a high price tag on something like that, it would stop it. And it did. But people inevitably would accumulate, $500 in their account of rewards. And then they would have to go through this verification. So they would pay the 99, and then they would end up, going through our third party. And if they uploaded all the right documentation that verified like 2 pieces of ID and their picture of themselves with their name, then it would actually verify their account, and it would lock their identity in the actual account and turn the check mark blue. And that would all happen like automatically within a minute. It was really cool. And I love that. And for influencers, we allowed them to like change their display name, so they could change if they had a persona, they could show a different persona, but we'd still know that they were a verified user. We did away with that after we rebuilt the system. We still have it, but we just haven't deployed it. We have just a very basic verification kind of check mark system that you would expect from any other platform that asks you, to upload a picture and a piece of ID. It's nothing too intensive. It's just done through our internal system, and we don't save any of that information. So we just kind of built that out as a base level verification if somebody just wants to get their check mark turned blue. But what we do envision in the future is that there could be, kind of like if you've used some of these different exchanges, like, Kraken, for example. Kraken has like 3 levels of verification that you can go through. And as you go through these verification levels, it unlocks, the most features or the most kind of capabilities if you're like the highest level verified. So I think that's a good methodology that enabled us to allow the users to pick and choose what they're comfortable with. Again, nobody has to get verified at all if they don't want, but we at least want to offer those different levels so that, and as much as possible, we want to automate it. So we don't want to be holding any of the information in our database, and we just want to know that a third party that we work with who encrypts the data and holds the data and handles it in a compliant way would have that verification record that we could point to on a higher level if and when we ever release that again. Hope that answered your question.
Yes. It's good to know the background reason why. I do have a few more questions, but I'm still processing the train of thought. SoMee is really different. I'm wishing you guys the best. And I hope that the project continues to stay bullish moonward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the questions, Weston. Yeah, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but it's been great speaking to Christopher and the team from SoMee project and the SoMee social media platform. Like Captain Levi says, it is unique, and in the future, as it expands and grows, it's going to be one to watch definitely as a social media platform offering everything we've discussed today. So, as we say, Wellcoin Talk Twitter Spaces is for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice, but you can check out the website, the white paper, and the official socials. They're in our main Telegram chat. And if you click on One Name Global, I think there'll be links there to their socials if you have any questions after the spaces today. It's been great speaking to you guys. Thank you very much and take care.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. Appreciate Wellcoin Talk having us today. And thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much, everybody.